What's happening, everybody? Welcome back. Tonight, another great night ahead as we get ready to bring in our man of the hour. I'm not going to do it. Too sweet to be sour. My man, 50 grand. No other than the man himself, Mr. Jimmy DiMODICA. Jimmy, what is happening, my brother?
How are you, Greg? How's everything?
Everything is good. Let's before we get this one rock and rolling, let's see who we got in the house, and let's say hello. And it starts off beautifully. I see Cinnamon Girl. Thank you, Cinnamon Girl. I hope you are well, my dear. I hope all is well. Our prayers, go out to you. Nothing but love, my dear. It's great to see your name in here. That's always a good thing. Duke, how are you? Matty boy, Nick, always a pleasure. Jimmy, by the way, everybody's always saying hello. If you can't read it, they always say hello.
I'm saying hello back.
Jack, my man. Terry, how are you? Chris Gawks, what's happening? Chatting with Stacks. Billy boy, what's the good word? You got it. We got to get you 37. If anybody, if we can, let's drop Billy's link. We got to get him 37 more to 10,000. Let's go. We can get you there, man. We're going to get you there tonight. I want to make sure we got Yosada. I saw your name earlier. What's up, brother? Baywatcher, what's happening, buddy? Sally boy, what's the good word? Barbara, how are you, my dear? I'm glad you're feeling better. Thank you. That's good. That's good. Terry again. How are you, Terry? And I'm sure there'll be plenty more popping in. Yosada, I hope all things are well. Joe Town Jack, Nick, we spoke earlier. Things are well. And we, Duke, thank you. We got Stacks up there. Good stuff. And Jimmy, what's happening, man?
Yeah. Same old thing, Craig. Just smiling and profiling. You know how I have to do it.
You're doing it for me. I love it.
like the commercial said, never let them see you sweat.
That's right. Never let them see you sweat. I'm going to change it up next week. I forgot to bring a new tie, so I had this one here. But next week, not only am I going to wear a tie, I'm going to put a collared shirt on and a sports coat.
Wow,
okay?
My man.
Yep, that's right.
I'm going to have to get that. I'm going to have to send you to my haberdashery there.
That's right. Send me to your guy, please. I know you. Everybody had a guy. I know you had a guy.
See, nobody can see what my wardrobe is like because I'm only from the shoulders, top of the shoulders up. So I don't get a chance to really display my wares.
I could imagine back in the day.
I always look good in clothes, and you have a lot of pictures of me at full length.
Absolutely, we're going to unleash some of them. Yes.
Yes, we'll unleash some of those.
That's right. We will. We definitely will. Francis, how are you, my dear? It's great to see you. Dookie, we got a good one. Jimmy is chilling like a villain. Absolutely, Duke. Benny boy, what's happening? Dustin, how are you, buddy? The pleasure to have you here with us. I hope we enjoy the night. We're going to have a good time. We always have some laughs. And one thing for anybody that doesn't know, for anybody that might be new or somebody that's watching from afar, one thing you definitely get here is no bullshit. So with that being said, let's jump right into it, Jimmy.
Okay, my pal.
All right. There's a couple of ways I could go, but I think tonight, this one's a little, it's not really tricky, but can you tell me about, I knew you had a relationship. It might have been touchy back then, but we could talk about it now, I think. You'll tell me if we can. There was a senator you had a relationship with, I believe. I don't know how strong your relationship was with this senator. Did you ever have a relationship with a senator? Are we allowed to? Yeah? Can we speak about this a little bit?
Sure. He's passed away now anyway, but anybody that knows me knows how close I was to him because
Really?
I'm in the section of Belleville, New Jersey, the Silver Lake section, and then there's a
Right.
North Newark area. And this guy was a senator, a state senator for the state of New Jersey. His name is Anthony Imperiali. And what he got his fame for was during the Newark riots, he used to have an ambulance service that used to go all around where the state never gave him any money. All he would do was take collections with cups on traffic lights, like let's say to keep the thing going, to keep those 2 ambulances that he had going. And those ambulances were a vital part during the Newark riots in 1967, the summer of '67. So what happened was Anthony became a good vigilante for the neighborhood because he said it in his words. I'm going back now. What made him famous? What made him become a senator? He said, "Whenever there's a breakdown in law and order, the people have the right to bear arms. That's in the Constitution." So he took advantage of that full throttle. I mean, this guy went as far as even took a tank on Bloomfield Avenue in Newark, and he went downtown in Newark, and they wanted trouble. He went over there and he took care of business. And he would have his men all rifled up, gunned up, and check out the gun work. You can read about it if you want to Google it. The way how he would get his men through the lines of the checkpoint lines of the state police and the National Guard was his ambulances would be, whoop, 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 and all the red and the lights going, the blue and red lights going. Meanwhile, his men are laying on the floor in the ambulances going through. So they let them go through thinking they're going there to pick up somebody who got hurt or somebody who may have gotten shot. So this is how cunning he was. Anyway, he got to be so famous that he started doing a lot of talk shows endlessly. Then he became a councilman in Newark. He ran for mayor, but he lost that bid for mayor. Then it was Ken Gibson who won in Newark. And he actually was the Newark mayor. Ken Gibson was black, but he won, and he was there for 17 years in the city of Newark. So Tony wound up going, and this is 1974 now. He wound up running for state senator, but he didn't get along with the Democrat or the Republican. He ran as an independent on the independent line, and he toppled the vote. That's just how much notoriety he had and how much popularity he had. They voted him in to be state senator, and when he got voted in to be state senator, there was funny. I'm telling you all this about him, his attributes, only because of what I took upon. In a few moments, I'm going to tell you where I fit in. So
I know it's coming.
Yes. So
tide's coming off.
He would go to the meetings, in the state meetings, and he would be in the hall, and they didn't have a chair for him because he wasn't a Republican or a Democrat. So he had to stand in the aisle. So he took a bullhorn. He would say, "Mr. Speaker, I'd like to introduce a bill, blah, blah, blah," or whatever. Now, I'm just giving you an example of this. Now it comes up to the vote for casino gambling in the state of New Jersey. This is 1977. The vote comes up. In New Jersey, you have 21 counties. There's 21 counties, period. Essex County, Hudson County, Ocean County, so on and so forth. So there's 21. So each person has their own particular area. Anthony Imperial was for the Essex County, of course. So now when it came time to vote for casino gambling, there has like a box, and you either put the lever to the left, which be a red light would mean no, and then a green light would mean affirmed or yes or yay and nays. That's what it was. And when it came time, it was a tie vote. in the state of New Jersey. 10 of the counties voted no. 10 of the counties voted yes. He gave up as an independent, and he's the one who made yes. Without him, you wouldn't have casinos in New Jersey. This is how powerful he was. With that, anyway, his son, Anthony Jr., wound up getting in trouble. He wound up being locked up under some misdemeanor. He had a problem with a neighbor, and he wound up getting locked up, and he went to Leesburg Prison in New Jersey, where my father was also. So Tony knew who I was. He got a hold of me to ask for my father to look after his son while he was in there. So now we get to be close with Tony. I'm riding in the limousine with him every time he wants to go visit his son. I, in turn, would see my dad on the same visit, but we would sit at separate tables. So I got to know him, and I says, Tony, I said, let me write your life story. So I wrote his life story, and it was called Disciple of Justice. And it also says all the turbulence he had in the Newark riots, how he saved a little kid that was playing cowboys and Indians, and he hung himself, and Tony brought him back to life. All these other things, how he got this child molester out of the neighborhood, and what he did to this guy was another thing. But it was all in a script. And Jim Crabb of William Morris wanted the script so bad. Now, you see, there's pictures that you show, Craig. You'll see in other episodes of me. You'll see this large guy. He's kind of large, and he's with Bert Young. That's Paulie of Rocky. That's when Bert Young took us to Sparks Steakhouse in New York to eat, because Bert Young wanted to play Tony so bad. He wanted to play Tony Imperial so bad. He loved the script. He loved the script that was written. And you see under Tony's arm, Tony smiling next to Bert Young. There was a picture that you did show again. Yeah. And he has the script under his arm. The same thing that James Brown does too, because James Brown was going to play the black militant leader at the time when the blacks were rioting of Leroy Jones. He was the enemy of Anthony Imperial. And years later, Anthony Imperial, and you know what? He changed his name to Amiri Baraka. Now, Raz Baraka is now the mayor of Newark, which is Leroy Jones's son. But before Tony Imperial died, he had told Leroy Jones, he said, you know what? If we worked our heads together, we could have ran Newark. But this is how close I was to him. I had his life story. We were with Dino De Laurentiis. I'm telling you, see, show business is such a tricky business. You got to have the right time, the right climate, the right person, and it's got to be the right mood. Otherwise, people, they get disinterested. But one thing that they did, they loved that script. And my father did a lot of work on the script also.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. Well, because he was away getting information. He's the one that got the information from the son while they were locked up together.
Gotcha.
So it was very, very interesting at the time of my life when I was with that senator. Well, but again, we always called him Tony. We always knew him. He was, even on his off days, he'd work the ambulance, and he was, even though he was like a big portly guy. Yeah, he was quick. He was quick with karate and stuff. Yes. Again, don't mind me. I'm still battling this sinus infection. Anyway, that's basically the story that I have about Anthony Imperial. And you know what? If you look at other film clips of like Geraldo, Phil Donahue, all these shows, Sally Jesse Raphael, Morton Downey Jr., a lot of those he did too. Tony was constantly a fixture. He did a good show for Tom Snyder on the Tomorrow Show, it was called, which used to come on after Johnny Carson. This was in the 80s. He was a hell of a speaker too. And then he was all self-educated. He was a self-educated guy and very sharp. And he gave me the rights to his life story. Little old me.
The little old you, huh? Little old you. That's just somehow, some way. Um, well,
So
DG,
that
we'll
was the
get to
thing
that.
about the Senator.
Yeah, that's crazy. When you think about that,
Well,
especially
no, Craig, people who do know him, that's so, let me tell you, because Anthony was very clannish. He was very
uh-huh.
family orientated, but
Mhm.
he wouldn't just give his rights to anybody. But everything, the timing was right for us because my dad was looking after his son when they were locked up together. And also, I was from the neighborhood, and he had a partner. His name was Mike Ramo. Mike Ramo was his aide. Oh, Tony was funny when he was. Oh God, he was when he was in the hall or where they all meet. There was a woman called Millicent Fenwick, I think her name was. She used to be a woman, an elderly woman who was also a senator. And so as she's doing the addressing, the passage of bills and what, she would have a box of raisins, and she would put one raisin down at a time in uniform in a line, and then make another line. So when she wasn't looking, Tony Imperial used to take the raisins and eat them one at a time, and she would say, "Senator, excuse me, are you eating my raisins?" He would say, "No," he'd say. And then she noticed them gone again. She says, "Senator, again, are you eating my raisins?" He says, "No," again. The third time, she says, "Senator, are you eating my raisins?" He says, "No, they make me shit." It was
Jimbo,
funny. But Google his name, Anthony Imperial.
absolutely. And you know what? The next time we next week, I'm gonna show that slide again and freeze it so we can get people can get whoever doesn't know get a good because there's a nice picture of him and Bert Young that
Right. Now you know why that picture was there.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. So I'll get
And
a chance.
also the picture I like too with me, my son, and Barbara.
Absolutely, you got it.
Yeah.
That's the least I can do. Listen,
Yeah, that's the least,
that's the least I can do for a friend. That's right. Um, Everybody in the chat, I love it. You guys are way ahead. You're starting the questions, getting them lined up. That's good. That's awesome. I just want to answer one thing that was asked to me about if I have any family in Lodi. The long and short of it is probably not, but there are some Gattos in Jersey that I possibly could be related to because Gatto is not that popular of a name. But long story to a short answer, I would say no. But I guess the old saying, you never know. But there is a slight chance. But I would say no because I'm asked that. I've been asked that before, but I would say no. But you never know. Jim, let's roll on
Yeah,
to the next.
there might be a few cats over there.
Yeah, there's a few cats in there. There's a few cats. There's cats everywhere, right?
This
That's
Gatto
good. I hope
is
they know. Everybody probably knows what you mean. I believe they do.
yeah,
Tell them, let them know why cat.
yeah. Well, yeah, in Spanish, gato means cat. That's all.
There you go. There you go. And believe it or not, many years, especially my young years, guess what they called me? The cat. How original.
Gee, wow, that was a stretch.
That's a stretch. I got something for you, bud. I know the Juice Man, all respects to that. The Juice Man had done plenty of time with Mr. Junior Persico. And I had heard from some other people, and we briefly touched on it about his wealth. This is I know out of left field. Could you expand? Would you have any intimate knowledge? Because I heard he was quite wealthy. What kind of wealth are we talking about?
Wow. wealth, wealth underlined. This guy is like, forget it. Karma, one thing about him, he made money, and money like, 10 Brinks trucks weren't enough. But in all kidding aside, the way how you can judge that is, for me personally, like other people say, yeah, you'll hear these other podcasts, like, they'll talk about, I've been there. I've been at his house. I've been there. And when Allie Boy, his son, told me to come up Saugerties, in this upstate New York, again, I go up there to see him, and the first thing, I'm in awe. My eyes are open so wide. You're looking at 275 acres. The land just goes on forever. And, you have like 60 thoroughbred horses. You see there's a racetrack on the property, 3 or 4 swimming pools in different sections. There's a huge home on the property. Then there's another house where I think, I believe the grandmother lived. You have in Junior, well, we call him Junior, but in Carmine Persico's life, his family, you have his sons also. You have Michael, you have Allie Boy, Larry, Allie Boy, then Barbara is the daughter. I believe, it's Barbara. That's the daughter. But again, Allie Boy was the one that really took a shine to his father, and being with his father and follow the father's footsteps. So when I was up there, I mean, I would hear other people. What was it? The Labor Day weekend, and this is 1978, and I'm listening to other people, family members, and they're just talking about this company and that company, but they're all his. They were all his, and he all of the things they had, like I told you, Roma Foods was initially his. I believe it's sold now. It's no longer his, but it was in every state. Every state, when you see a tractor trailer with Roma Foods on it, that was his. In other words, he had some regular straight guy at the helm that would be the spokesperson, which would be clean as a whistle. You would never know that. And what else did he have? He had there was Craig talk about automobiles. Then there was 3 or 4 garages, but they looked like airport hangars almost. The cars that I saw in there, Rolls Royces, Lamborghinis, many Mercedes, of course.
Yeah.
Of course, Cadillac at the time and all that. But I'm talking, I don't even know, but I got a feeling that some of those cars had to go out. Either were going to be shipped out somewhere, or going to be resold or something, because not one person or a family member, let's say a family of 20 people that were living on the property, I don't think they could have used that many cars. So there had to be a reason why there was that many cars there. But there's so many other things that I don't know, which I would.
Of course, yeah. But if you don't mind me asking, Jim, how much time did your dad actually do with Junior Persico?
6 years.
They spent 6 years together?
Yes, in Atlanta, Georgia. It was federal prison from 74 to 1980.
Yeah, I knew he was wealthy. I knew he was wealthy. I didn't know how crazy the wealth was.
Oh, forget it. And then there was also the garment center. The garment center at all. He controlled several lines of clothing that let's say Macy's would buy, that would have a certain line. I just can't remember the name. I can't remember the name right now, but it's his line of clothes, But I'm I was very pleased and I was very elated and very privileged to meet him. When I did, when my dad came home. but to be part of that group of people. Now, the funny story is how people don't know how to act. I'm going to give you an example. My fiance at the time, her name was Debbie. I brought her up there for that weekend, right? To be up there for Labor Day weekend. So Alley Boy is showing her his necklace, and then he had like a crucifix with all diamonds. You know, a diamond. The whole face of the watch was diamonds. The diamond bezel around it, and it was an 18-karat solid 18-karat gold Rolex or whatever. Another one he had was a wooden face, but then the diamond bezel around again. So as he's showing all this stuff, he's not doing it to say like as if look what I got and your guy is not there yet, hun. Like not to show me up or not to show anybody up. He's just talking as a matter of factly because she asked him a question about it. That's why he expounded on it. And when he did, she did something so stupid. She's oh dear. I feel like a little pauper up here. I said, looked at her. I said, what did you say? I said, what are you, stupid? I said, you said something like that up here. I had to pull her on the side. I said, don't you ever embarrass me again. And what happened was we wanted to go horseback riding. Oh, another thing. Carmine's brother, he was Alley Boy, the first Alley Boy. Big Alley Boy, they called him, not the son.
Mm-hmm.
His brother was there, and we wound up going to a party for their mother, and they had it at the Friar Tuck Inn. And I went there, and I was wound up the entertainment. I did all the entertaining that night with the cards and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And Alley, he did 17 years also, Carmine's brother. I think he did it for murder. He's gone now also. But Alley was like, you could just tell, like just by looking at them, the seasoning these men have. They're just a cut out of the ordinary cloth. Like they're just different men. Like you wouldn't believe it, but I tell you, they give you a chill on the back of your neck when you see the real deal. Like
absolutely. Wow, if we could ask everybody, Jimmy, that's awesome. If we could ask everybody to just hit that like button, it helps us so much. If you could just take a second out and smash that like button for us, help my man Jim out, help me out here. Smash that like button.
I'm drowning. Help!
Jim, that it just blew my mind. I mean, I knew Dad. The Juice Man had done something with him.
Yeah. Let me, before I forget, the reason why I brought up Big Alley Boy's name, Carmine's brother, is because when we went horseback riding, that's what it was. He said, I'm going to put you on Blue. Blue was his personal horse, which was real trained to do everything. He knew just when you just barely kicked him, he knew when to go, when to stop. He followed all commands. So Debbie gets on another horse, and she got paid back for that stupid saying that she said, because when the horses took off, you saw her head just almost snap it off. And she says, oh, she starts like screaming. So we went over there with the horses, and what's the matter? She says, no, Jim, you go on the trail, because I'm going back under the tent and hang out. I says, okay, yeah, just go relax. I feel like saying, good. Leave us alone, because you might say something else stupid.
Only you, brother.
So finish what you were saying. Finish what you were saying.
No, I just I could not, because Jimmy, honestly, not everybody. You had the opportunity, as we've learned along the this ride we've been taking with you, as the chat has as well. You had the opportunity. You had spent some time with. You had the opportunity to be around bosses. Let's face it. Yeah. Not everybody. You could be a big time player in the life, well respected, well loved, and not have that opportunity.
You'll never meet
the boss. And you were around not only your own family. We're talking about other families. You had the opportunity to be around guys, in the administration positions, and you've shared that with us. But I had heard about his wealth, and I never realized the magnitude of Junior Persico's wealth. That's really what it was.
Yeah, like tonight, like I said, I told you about the cars and the even with the garment center. Oh, and there's also there was a wine label too. Don't let me forget that too. There was a wine label that I remember. But all of these, since he's passed away, he passed away, I think, within the past year or two. But a lot of these companies, because don't forget, this is a while ago, so naturally these companies have probably been sold already. They sold out the companies probably to new people probably.
Yeah.
But imagine that though, have a wine label with vineyards and this and that. It's just staggering. But this is how smart. This is how smart he was. He should have been president of a Fortune 500 company. He's a criminal genius. Criminal genius. I'm telling you.
I'm gonna Jimmy, if you don't, I think it's a good time. We're gonna start putting, guys, and ladies, I see some questions. So you know what? No better time than now. Let's start with the questions. And I just happen to see one. It's not really a question. It's Dustin. And Dustin, welcome to the family. Our community. I hope you stick around. I think you'll love it here. As wherever else you go, we have a good thing here. Our community, our group. Let me help you out here. I think I see you saying, Roy, are you talking about the same Frankie Valli that was in the Sopranos? He's still alive. I thought he was passed. No. Jimmy, can you please answer that and maybe talk a little bit about that? Frankie.
Oh, okay. Roy, to answer your question, he's still alive. As a matter of fact, today is his birthday.
Are you serious?
Yes, he's 90. He's 90 years old today. You can Google it.
Wow.
His real name is Francesco Castelluccio. That's his real name.
And you had a relationship with Frankie. We've been through that.
Our relationship was since I've been a baby, because he introduced my mother and father to start going out, because it was in Stephen Crane Village. It's called, on 6th Street or Franklin Avenue in Newark, which is right next to Belleville, right across the street from Clara Mass Hospital. And Frankie, my mother used to give him her pancake makeup to put on his face, because before he made it big, he was with a group called the Four Lovers, and he used to be on Ed Sullivan quite a bit, until he finally got the good hit that got him catapulted, and then to put him on a roll, which was Sherry, his first hit. So that was that. But Frankie was best friends with my father. They were actually locked up together too. This was like in '55, I think.
Absolutely, working on it. I'm sorry, Jimmy,
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, it was. Oh, he's talking to me. I didn't know.
Yeah, no. Somebody asked me to do something. I got to take care of something. Go ahead. I'm listening.
Right. So that's how close they were. They're very close. He introduced my mom. They introduced my mom and dad.
Yeah,
because Frankie had broken his leg on a motorcycle accident. So they both went over there to see him at the same time. And that's when Frankie says, Juice, he says, this is Patty. He says, this is a friend of mine. He goes, and my mother was so pretty when she was young. So pretty. Not because it's my mom, but you got to see the both of them out. Oh, man. They made a good pair. Good pair.
Jimmy, somebody's asking a question for you, and it has to do with Frankie. Did you know Jip? Was there a character such as Jip DiCarlo, I gather?
Yeah, Jip DiCarlo. Yeah, Jip DiCarlo. I didn't know him.
Okay.
I didn't know him, but he was also. I think he was with. I think it was Jersey City. I think he was around Jersey City area. Jip was the actual guy that they used to get money from, like Machochi, his real last name was. That's Nick Massey in the original Four Seasons. And right. Tommy DeVito, what we call him Tamooch. He would come over. He would be here, right where I'm residing, but just down the hall. at my mother and father's apartment. Tom Mooch would come all the time, but he passed away recently, about a year or so ago. And what was I saying again? Oh yeah, Chip was the one who used to give the loan shark money to Tommy DeVito.
Right.
And that's part of the Jersey Boys play. It plays a big part in there. That's what happened. They used to owe a lot of money to Chip, and they used to have to go on the road half of the time to pay back Tommy DeVito's debts to Chip DiCarlo.
Gotcha.
That was all true.
Let me just say something. Agnostic and DZ, Dustin Mercer, you should be getting wrenches any second now. You should be turning blue. So just to let you guys know, everybody here, we're all one. So we're all one. William as well. You should be blue shortly. So if you see me look down at my phone, it's not to be disrespectful. It's because I can't do it from here. I have to do it from my phone. No thank you is needed. All we are a respectful crew here. A crew, I don't mean to use that word. We're a family, a community here, and we treat each other with love and respect. That's all we ask. And
that's right.
Until that's proven differently, we're all one, and that's the way it should be. That's how we feel. That's how we all feel. So let's get to some questions, Jim, because I don't want those hunger pains kicking in yet. I know I know. It's true though. So many people are blown away by with your relationship with Frankie Valli. It is true. I get it. I hear it a lot, through comments or emails. I do get it a lot. So it doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. Well, I was personally close with him also. I mean, Christ. I mean, I have pictures that I took of him without his shirt on and stuff, and he would allow me to do that. At the time, I lived in his house with him. We lived upstairs, and he lived downstairs on the first floor with his family. And because Frankie wanted, when my father came home after 9 years in 1968, he told my father, he goes, no, you're going to move in my house. And that's what we did. So I was a kid with my Polaroid swinger camera.
Please hit the like button. Talk, Jimmy. Talk, brother. Talk. Yeah. I'm not talking to you. Keep going, buddy.
So I would take the pictures of Frankie, and half the time he would be in states of getting dressed or whatever, but he would never get mad. Frankie loved it. Even as I got older, one time I saw him when I was lifting weights and getting real big. He came into a Carvel one night. We were in Belleville, and he walked in with this girl. And then I says, hi, Frank. He went, yes, hello. Like he thought I was just a fan or something. I looked at him. I says, Frank, it's me, Jimmy, Juicy Skid. He went, oh, Christ, come here. He's hugging me, kissing me. So, yes, I was very close with him also.
All right, here goes, Jim. I found the question. Guys, I'm looking for the questions, but I have one, I think, here comes from Maddie. I wonder if the Persicos, I'll see if Jimmy has the answer. I wonder if the Persicos still own that farm in Socrates. Maddie says he has a place in Rhinebeck across the river. Over time, they mind if I stop buying cannoli. Yeah, if you bring cannolis from Alta Avenue, I don't know. Jim, you wouldn't happen to know if they still have property up there in Socrates?
Well, that's the place I'm talking about.
That's what you're talking about? Okay.
That's Socrates.
Yeah, that's it.
I said that. I said
that's what he's talking about, okay?
Yeah,
same place.
That's where it was. But they would call it the Wagon Wheel Farm or Ranch or something. They called it. They had a certain name they used for. I forget the name, but it was in Socrates. Yeah, I think it was exit 13 on the New York State Thruway. It was a 13 or 11, somewhere around there. I'm trying to remember, because I was only there several times, but it was a sight. You don't forget it once you see it.
I'm trying to see if my man Roy has anything. I know I have some questions. They're way up. I got to look for them.
Oh, thank you for the comment, Roy. Thank you.
Go. I'm trying to see if somebody asked something. I want to see if I can find it. If anybody has anything they'd like to ask Jim. Oh, this has to do with Crane Village, I believe. Oh, Terry is saying she lived in Stephen Crane Village, Hawthorne Lane, if that rings a bell, Jimbo.
Sure. I know where that is. Sure.
Well, why
My
don't you
mother,
let
my
this
mother,
tell
my
the New
mother lived
Yorker?
there too. My
Really?
mother lived there too. I think it was 54 I think it was 53 or 54. In other words, but where she was, you can actually look across the street, throw a rock, and hit Clara Mass Hospital. That's what I remember.
Jimmy, this question's for you. I have the answer, but you'll answer it, obviously. Agnostic is a new part of our crew here and family, and we welcome him. I've heard nothing but amazing things about Agnostic. He's a friend of Tommy Real Deal, who's amazing people. Jimmy, are you from New York City? I gather he means New York, so feel free to answer.
No, I'm not from New York. I'm from Jersey. I've always been from New Jersey.
Okay.
But like I said, the left arm is in New York, the right arm is in New Jersey. Absolutely. And in the middle, nothing but power, brother. Nothing but power.
Absolutely. Especially that Belleville area, huh?
Yeah, you'd be surprised how much talent and how much more wise guys and gunmen, stick-up men, guys that did work, came out of this area. I'm talking about, like, there was a book once written that said the guys from Silver Lake, there's only about 9 strong, but they're like an army of 200.
Got you. Serious. Yeah, serious people. Yep, absolutely. If anybody has any questions for Jimmy, otherwise, I'm telling you, the hunger pains are going to come. All right. Hey, welcome. First of all, I'd like to welcome Dan Giancola. Me and Dan had a great conversation today. Dan, welcome to the community and our friends group. Welcome to the Brotherhood. We are a special group here, this chat crew. We want to welcome you in. Everybody in the chat crew, whoever, please give a special welcome, warm welcome to Mr. Dan Giancola. He's going to also be on the show with us shortly, and you'll get to know Dan personally. But great person and a brother. Dan, enjoy. I hope you're enjoying so far. Joe, how are you, Joe? Been a long time, Joe. Good to see you, my man. We got a question for you. Jimmy, this question comes from Joe the Frankie. Joe is great people. Joe, it's good to see you, bud. Jimmy, did you have any dealing with A.J. Ross in Keysby, New Jersey?
It sounds familiar. I don't know if it was a contractor or not. If it was a contractor, I'd like to hear some feedback.
Yeah, let me see if Joe, you heard what Jimmy said. Was it a contractor? The A.J. Ross, because maybe Jimmy could expound on it if he knows if it's a contractor we're talking about. Always, Dan, and we're also going to get you one of those fancy blue wrenches, Dan, in a second.
What are these blue wrenches? I don't know what
the blue wrenches, Jimmy. What they are is it took me only about a year to learn what they are. First, it took me to learn how to give them out, and now I learned what they are. Basically, it gives everybody that's in the chat the ability that if anybody comes in that's talking crazy, being disrespectful, to get them out of here. So they have that ability. Gives them some power. So they're officially straightened out in the chat. All right?
Right, okay.
Jimmy, did you know Sam the plumber from the Trenton area? That comes from Duke. Okay.
That's way before I was up and about and cracking people and splitting skulls. Way before that.
Roy Munson said the blue wrench is like getting your button on YouTube.
Good one, Roy.
Agnostic. I remember interviews. They're all right. Here we go. We got another one. Dan from the Niagara area. Up north, Jimmy says it's fantastic meeting you.
Same here, buddy. Same here. Nice to meet you, Dan.
Again, I remember this name, Jimmy. You had told us a story about Jack. I forget how to pronounce his last name. How did you pronounce his name? Yeah,
Jack,
you had some. Yeah, maybe you want to.
I was very close. Very, very close with Jack. Jack.
Yeah,
Jack,
you had talked about it. If you maybe you want to touch on
Jack. No. He builds stadiums. He has
big time.
He has trucks that are concrete pumps that can go up like to actually pump
very hard. Yes.
To fill the concrete in stadiums. He did the new stadium where the Philadelphia Eagles play. He did not Brendan Burnett, the Continental Airlines at the time arena. He did the Giants. He did that one. I mean, Jack Macedos, and what a gentleman he is. He's a class act also.
Yeah.
And Jack, he's little. People, they underestimate Jack because they don't realize he's good in karate. He's like an 8th degree black belt. Nobody knows that about him that much. He doesn't publicize that much.
Yeah, Dana just says that. Yes, Dana just said Jack was a black belt. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, but Jack, whenever I had a problem, I could go to Jack and say, Jack, when I had trouble with the lawyers and stuff, I said, he goes, well, Jim, I can give you 10,000 if that'll help. Like bang, like in a second, and then he would have his girl write me a check, from the company. This way, he has the write-off, I guess. Whatever reason he needed to write a check for, because I didn't ask him for cash because it was going to a lawyer anyway, But there was 3 occasions that he gave me money. For one other time, for this other wise guy, Tony. This guy's name was Tony. He just come home from jail, and he gave him a coming home present based on my word.
Right.
And then he took care of me, not once, twice. He took care of me 3 times. He took care of me. Jack is a class act, and he's contractor of the year. He wins awards, everything. He's something.
He's a special guy. You spoke very highly of him before.
Yes, in Flemington, New Jersey, where his offices are, he owns like 2 or 3 blocks worth of buildings that are all his buildings. Like offices, office buildings, like big stuff. Like, you can't believe it. How
I got a question for you. This actually comes from my brother-in-law. And he just mentions that there was a family member that we grew up around, and his family member I grew up around and was around them since I'm young, and they were close. Bert Young was always at the family parties, and he just wants to know: did you have a good relationship with Bert Young? Basically,
Bert Young was my dear friend. I would stay in his house. He was 708. First, he lived on 321 North Palm Drive in Beverly Hills. Then he moved to 1013 Roxbury Drive. Then he moved to 708 Roxbury Drive. And I would stay in his house. Whenever I would go to California, I would live with him at his house. He was real. Now, the ones who got me close with him was Carmine Persico and his son Alley Boy, because Bert Young was around then. Bert Young's real name was Richard, but we say Dickie Morea, Morea. That's his real last name. So you say Richie or Dickie Morea. That's his real name. But he was my dear friend. I mean, when I was there, don't forget, this is like in the late 70s too.
Yeah.
I'm staying with him, and I'm good with cards, but I wasn't that astute yet until I was just learning then. But I would always blow him away with my card tricks. But I'll tell you the truth, Craig. One Sunday afternoon, right? He gets on the phone. He took his phone book out. page after page, he's calling these girls. He's calling girls for a date, right? And he goes, so listen, honey, why don't why don't we just go down there? We'll go to Alibaba. We'll go do this. We'll go eat at the Palm restaurant, Palm restaurant. We'll go. All right. I'll catch you another time. Boom. One denial. So he called about 10 different girls, and every one of them turned him down to go out on a date. I felt so bad for him.
I got to tell you something. I saw Dana say that Bert is from Queens. Dana, let me just tell you something. As Benny had said, Bert Young used to come to a lot of family functions that we were at. And I think I mentioned this, Jimmy, we had spoke about this off camera. So one night, one event where we're at, and I'm standing by the bar and I'm talking to Bert Young, and Dana, you mentioned he's from Queens. That's the only reason why I'm going to say this. Because this is Jimmy's night. Jimmy shares, but Jimmy will get a kick out of this. So Bert Young owned a bowling alley in Whitestone, Queens called Bridge Lanes. Benny, you remember when he had the bowling alley, Bridge Lanes? So we were wild, young guys, whatever. And so Bert had a bowling alley, or he had a piece of the bowl, whatever it was. Long story short, we see him at this party, and listen, there was a lot of the boys were at this event. And long story short, so Bert's by the bar, and he's got a woman with him. I don't know who, where, whatever. And very nice lady. And I'm ordering a drink, whatever. And he's standing to the right. And I, she kind of walked away a little bit. So I said, we were young. I says, it's a pleasure to see you. I called him Mr. Young, showed him a little respect, whatever. And he says, a little gruff, but he says, I said to him, you used to have a bowling alley in our neighborhood. Yeah, where you from? I said, so I told him, from Whitestone, Queens, whatever. Get out of here. And we started talking. And then the woman came back, and he was trying to, obviously he was trying to impress her a little bit, whatever. He says, see, when these guys were kids, they used to be in my joint, my bowling alley. But Bert was like one of the guys. He was good. He was good. And Benny was just saying how, for Benny to say it, he must have told him, Bert Young might have not been too crazy about Sly. I don't know how, for Benny to say it, I know he must have got it from somewhere.
No, I'll tell you a different story. One night I was with him, and
go ahead.
We were ready to go to work. He was ready to, he's an actor, but he was first a detective, private eye, or New York detective. His name is Bo Dietl. They call him
I know,
Bo. I've
heard of Bo Dietl. Sure, he's been in a lot of movies. Yeah.
Bo Dietl. Well, Bert Young we were at this fair. We were in Little Italy, and then all of a sudden, Bo Dietl came, and they walked by each other, and they banged into each other. And I knew there was bad blood there. So I get up out of the chair. I'm going to back up Bert. I'm going to go right behind him. He's going to go to work on it. And their mother effing each other back and forth. There was a heated exchange. I'm lucky nobody didn't have no pistol, because somebody probably would have got shot with the words that were said. But I think he had told me, he says, no, he says, I want to crack this son of a bitch one other time, he says, but if he wants to keep his mouth going, I'll shut it for good. That's what he said. I remember that was But these are the missteps, because he still had that, that fire in him, because when he was young, he was like a gangster when he was young.
And he, when he had the bowling alley, we were just wild kids, and everybody. I told you, it was just a wild time growing up. And Whitestone was that area where, you know who my grandfather is, who my father is, it was that area, Jimmy.
Right.
It was what, and if everybody was, from young, everybody learned how to throw that around, and but Bert Young that night appreciated it. Obviously, he knew we were at this event. He knew.
Sure. And he used that
Yeah.
as a segue to try to get a piece of tail.
Absolutely. You know the score. You know it.
Right.
Somebody asked me if I'm originally, Jim, I'm sorry. Somebody asked me if I'm originally from Whitestone or College Point. Agnostic. I'm originally from Flushing, raised my children in Whitestone for a long time, was in Whitestone basically my whole life. All my friends came from there. But I represented College Point. I live there now because from a very young kid, I played sports for all the College Point programs. So I had friends in both, as you know, a mile separates the neighborhood. So, you know, I was a man of three homes, Flushing, Whitestone, and College Point. But born and raised in Flushing, hung out in Whitestone, raised my children in Whitestone, played ball in College Point, live in College Point now. Got one for you, Jim. Here we go. Are you ready? This is a good one.
Yeah.
What is your middle name? I'm only. I made that.
That's easy. Anthony.
Whoa! I got screwed. I got bad names. I told you, man. You got all the good names. You see, Anthony. Man, I got Craig.
Yeah, I'm James Anthony DiMODICA. Yeah.
Does the Anthony come after?
Craig, did you hear that bell? Oh, the dinner bell.
Oh, yeah, it's time. All right, folks. All right, agnostic. Wait, all right. I lived on 131st and 14th Avenue. Agnostic. We're gonna you're gonna get my email. My children, I got sons, agnostic, that are like 31, 30, and 31. You know, who knows? It's a small world, right, bro? It's good to know though that we, you know, it's great to know, man. That's what makes this thing special. Our little thing special. It's a very close community, right, Jim?
That's right.
Right, Dookie, right, Nick, right, Ben, right, Davey T. We keep Maureen, we keep it that way. Kelly, it's great to see you. Jimmy, is there anything you'd like to say before you part?
Well, I'd just like to thank everybody for being loyal and loyal patron, loyal viewers. And I appreciate you tuning in. And I hope that I'm, you know, entertaining enough for you with my personal stories. This is my personal life, what I've done, where I've been. And I'm not done. I'm not done tearing down some fences and making more headlines. I'm not done yet. So I'm going to have better thrills for you. Don't worry. I got things cooking that'll make you proud of me even more. So
Absolutely,
with that, I want to thank everybody, and I want to send my love to Craig and your family.
Thank you.
And again, thank you guys again.
Thank you, my brother. You be well. All right, we'll talk soon.
All right.
All right. I'll check in with you in the morning.
All right. Love you, buddy.
Well, folks, if you guys want to stick around, I say we hang out and have some laughs if you want, or we could call it a night. It's up to you guys. I'm trying to get a better background so you don't have to. I'm clearing this space out to be frank with you guys. I'm trying to clear this space out and really try to create a better studio type setting. So that's what I'm looking to do here. How long that takes to happen is another story, but I am trying to do that, and I will do that. It's just a matter of getting it done little by little, just like the channel, right? We grow little by little. Well, I can't seem to get this background changed, so we go with what it is. I hope everybody enjoyed the evening with Mr. James DiMODICA. Here we go, a little better. We had a good night. Jimmy is always a lot of laughs, a lot of good stuff for those that, you know, like to just hear real, no BS, and keep it that way with respect. And that's just the way it is. and we just keep rolling. Let's hear some. Michael, all we got to do is set it off. Go ahead, buddy. We don't. We got to get Johnny Farinacci on, and once Johnny comes back Monday night, we could we'll see if he's got the luminol on, right? Dan, Danny, I'm glad you enjoyed yourself, and we'll get it. Just to let everybody in the chat know, you guys will see a thumbnail during the week where me and Dan are trying to figure out a date. Dan's got some great stuff to share with us, and Dan will be on this week, and we're going to have a great conversation. He'll share a lot of things that he did in his life and stuff like that athletically. Not everything we do here, for those that don't know, we're not all about everything is not about on this show about the mob, we try to be well-rounded, because there was more to our lives than just that period of time that I spent in the street. Jimmy spent a lot more time in the street than I did. Again, born into it. Me kind of filled out the application and was hired. All right. Sound better? That sounds good. Oh, wait a second. Here we go. Nick, what's up? Yeah, we got a good strong crew here, Nick. What's up, buddy? Craig, agnostic is 100. I know this from Tommy. Awesome. You got it. I figured that when Tommy Real Deal said, get my man a wrench, nothing needed to be said. That's it. You got it. 100%. Agnostic. We're good, brother. My man, agnostic, you get my email. It should be in about, and I do this honestly with everybody. I can't tell you how many people we keep. Honestly, I don't know if this goes on with everybody's chat and their stuff and whatever. We talk to everybody. I mean, a lot of people here have each other's. It's good. It's good. We all try to be there. So just get my email. I'll be more than happy to give you my number, and we can shoot the breeze. And it's probably possible, brother. We probably know a lot of the same people. I'm sure we're from the same area. You know what I mean? Exactly. The same area. So it's a small world, right? But I wouldn't want to paint it. My grandfather used to say, it's a small world, but I wouldn't want to paint it. Dan, I hope you're really enjoying this, brother. We're going to have a good time with you next week, but we'll pick a day, a night, that is, a day, a date. And we'll do like an 8 o'clock show. You figure I can tell you now. Well, we'll talk about it. You know what, Dan? we're going to be on for a little while here. Oh, you're not good with emails. You know what? Tommy will give you, yes, absolutely. Agnostic, I suffer from that AD triple HD. So, of course, my brother. Yes, Tommy will give you the info. Absolutely. You give me a call anytime, brother. Give me a holler tonight, tomorrow, whatever. We shoot the breeze. All good. Sounds good. Timmy Irish, if you're still in the house, are we going to hook up this weekend and do the Bronx thing? That'll be good. We'll figure it out. I'll give you a holler afterwards. You let me know. And anybody know we got any good fights? Anything going on? Oh, you know what? Now's a good time to do it. We usually do it earlier. I'll do it now. I like to give a couple of shout outs. I like to shout out Mr. Ray Longo and his crew at Law MMA over in Garden City. These are just friends of mine. These are friends for YouTube reasons. I have to say this. I don't make a profit from saying this. These are personal friends of mine. And so if anybody wants to go to a great gym and learn how to fight or become a fighter or has what it takes to fight, there's the gym to be in. Law MMA in Garden City, Long Island. And go see my friend Ray Longo and with his team. And nobody better. As far as I'm concerned, I'm a little partial because Ray's a dear friend. That being said, shout out to the Gracie family. Henzo, Hal, shout out to you guys. Shout out to St. Catherine's Gym in a boxing club in the Niagara area. Mr. Johnny Farinacci and crew. Jamie Pagandam. We're going to be together soon, Jamie. Again, bunch of guys from that Niagara area. Roger. We spoke. Roger, can't wait to speak to you. Can't wait for you to. I don't want to give away too many secrets here about what we're gonna, who's gonna be, what we're gonna be talking about and stuff like that. But some people I just want to give some shout outs to, and had some good conversations and some good stuff. And we don't want to continuously beat the same drum. There's other things that we've done in our life, and some things never leave us, as far as how we might respond or behave. Oh, wait. Jimmy says somebody must have asked a question about, yes, I knew Lenny from Vesuvius. He also owned the place. He was very close to him. So whoever asked that question, I think that might have been Terry. I don't know if Terry asked it or whoever asked it. I hope they're around to still see that Jimmy answered it. Jimmy must have read the question. I missed it for sure. I apologize for that. I was searching. But Jimmy says definitely he knew it. He knew the person, knew the place. The only one good fighter out of Buffalo. You almost married her? Really? Agnostic. All right. We have some people actually agnostic from that that area up there that are in our chat crew and our community are up in that area. So which is great. And as you know, I don't have to repeat, the person that put us together here, and it's going to give you our number. He'll be able to tell you probably who's up in that region. But yeah, we got a great look. I couldn't be happier with Mr. Duke. We're gonna speak, buddy. It's always a pleasure when I see your name, Duke, pop in here. That's a fact. You know that, brother. I don't like to. I know you don't. You probably don't like it, but I just thought so. 1 second. I hung out with Matt, Sarah, and Ray Longo. Yep, Ray is the. If you look, you'll see I did a little I had Ray come on and we did a little interview. If you go to one of my early videos, I was just talking to a friend. So yeah, he's got a good group. If you follow, I don't know, we'll talk agnostic. I don't know if you follow MMA, but Matt was one of his guys, of course. And yeah, you got Aljo and Marab and Matty Favola and Bazooka, and Chris Wyman. You know the crew. I know Craig. You are? All right. Well, that's your guy, so you're allowed to do that. Obviously, that's your guy. We that's what's good though, agnostic. When I hear guys like Tommy and Nikki, speak highly of you, that's that's good stuff, man. That's good stuff. Dookie, you leaving? You got to walk the beast. All right, brother. Love you, man. Be well, and we're definitely gonna talk, bro. All right, pal. You have a great weekend. I think we're gonna take the weekend off. We've been taking weekends off, so we try to keep busy. At least 4 days during the week. It seems like lately we've been taking Wednesdays and the weekend off. Now, if something comes up, Tommy, real deal, said he's got something for you. Hey, Tommy, this is your main man, huh? I see it. He can't afford you, Tommy? Hey, Nikki. Talk to me, Nikki. How's that mate? Oh, wait, Davey T. I forgot to talk to Davey T about the Bruins. He did. Francis, I hope. She says, I hope the weather's been nice for you, Craig. The weather has been nice. The other day it was 90. Then we went down to 50, pouring rain. But today was nice. Today was beautiful. I'll take it. Hey, listen, we haven't had any snow, so we really don't have much to bitch about. You know, Francis, we really don't. I'm looking for my. I can't find it. I had a special hat that I was going to wear for this evening to break Jimmy's chops, but I can't find it. Anyway, what else is going on? Yeah. Hey, Jack the Ripper, what's happening, brother? Hope all is well, my friend. Good to see you, man. Maddie, the word's out, Maddie. The plumber, the man, the myth, the legend. Wait, we got something here. Let me see. I'm trying to make sure I get everybody up here. It's been really, Francis? It's been cold up there? Up north? Really? Yeah, no, wait, it's been warm. I told Nikki the other day, it was like, I'm telling you, it was like 9, it felt like 9, I think it was like 87. I think it was 87 the other day. Today it was like 70, I think. I don't know, but it's been warm. It's been warm outside of like one day mixed in with rain. It got warm quick. It's starting to warm up. And are you down in Florida, Dustin? All right. Oh, Florida temperatures. Oh, so yeah, definitely. It's been warm. That's for sure. I'll tell you, and I'm not complaining about it, but winters, man, we didn't have, I mean, forget about the snow. We didn't really even have any cold fronts this winter. Like, that crazy, the guys up north, they're going to laugh when I say 10 degrees, because I know it gets a lot colder up there. But, but that's it. Yeah, I'm glad, we had a nice show tonight. Friday nights is always, we're going to get some laughs. We try to keep it that way, man. We try to keep everything light, try to find some humor in anything we do. And that's it. Ignacy, Tommy, do me a favor if you can. Give Ignacy my information. This way me and Ignacy could have a conversation. I hope everybody got, yeah, it was Terry who asked that question. Okay, good. I'm glad, Jimmy. Thank you, man. I couldn't find it. That's why I was scrolling through it. I couldn't find it. I thought I had saw it earlier, but I'm glad you caught it, bud. Thank you. And I'm sure Terry will see that you gave the answer, which that's good. I'm glad. Thanks, buddy. Go look it out. Maddie says, "Where's upstate?" Jimmy's back. Yeah, Jimmy's always got his eye on me. Trust me. Timmy Irish, are you still around, Timmy? Timmy Irish, where you at, Timmy? I'm sure if Jimmy's looking in, he'll say it's a pleasure. Pleasure's all his, I'm sure I'll tell you. Okay, Timmy says we will be going, you know what? So I can read it bigger. These glasses are killing me, but I need them still. We will be going to the neighborhood in the Bronx so people not from New York can see where all the toughest Italian, Irish, Puerto Rican, black neighborhoods were. The Bronx was racially segregated. No sense of bullshitting. Absolutely. That's why we are the No Bullshit Network. It's true. So we'll get up to the Bronx this weekend, Tim. Probably Sunday, I think, is best. And, we'll also some of the stuff we've talked about in the past that go with some of the videos of stuff of what little time or what little I knew about the life. We could put maybe some stories with some places or corners or restaurants or whatever. Who knows what's there in these places now? You know what I mean? And stuff like that. I think it would be, yeah, it's a great idea, Timmy, that we get up there and, give people an idea of, that never been to the Bronx or Queens for that matter, and show some of the spots, that, where some of the, some of the things we've talked about, some of these things were discussed or whatever we discussed, stuff like that. I think it's good where we could put no different than putting a face and a voice together. That's why it's awesome when I get to speak to people, and FaceTime or just having that conversation. That's why I said I want to get that. We finally get set up right in here. I want to get that phone system put in where people can hear if there's a question or something they want to ask. We get to hear a voice. So, it'll be like a messenger service type thing. Not a service, but, we'll be able to hear the question. Everybody will be able to hear it. They'll be able to hear the voice. You don't have to worry about typing it in. You can just leave a question on like a phone, on a message machine, and like the old days. And we'll be able to just play the question. People can hear it and answer it. That's it. I'll get in here early and weed out any trolls or stupid questions. Yeah. I just, Louie and Ernie's. Whoa, I saw Louie and Ernie's. Wait a minute. Well, he called it Frog's Neck. Now, I got to tell you, there's been some other nicknames. I have never heard of Frog's Neck, Maddie. Now, I'm sure there's a reason why you're calling it Frog's Neck. There are some nicknames that were around when I was around a little bit. Frog's Neck was not one of them. Would you like to elaborate on that? Frog's Neck. I'm going to guess, Maddie, that there's water and some frogs. Absolutely. Good idea, I'm telling you. Dustin said, Gnostic, I don't know the heat up there in New York, but down here in Florida. Oh, so you are in Florida. Is it like 90? Yeah. Benny's down in Florida. We got a bunch of our guys are in Florida. We're spread out. We're a spread out group. But I got to tell you, Agnostic, it's cool, man, that you're here. Hey, Craig, you're invited over onto the bodega tonight when you're done on your show, buddy. King Dom. King Dom, I'll tell you what, King Dom. What time would you like me to do that? I can't promise you tonight, but if you give me an idea, I'll tell you if I could make it. Otherwise, any other time, no problem, brother. It'd be my honor. Be my pleasure. I have no issue with that, buddy. I'm taking this as a friendly invite, and if that's what this is, I accept, my friend. Sounds good. They're already on. We'll be on in a few hours. It's Kane Shade, Joey's Bay Show. Yeah, oh, it's a setup. Oh, really? Okay. Well, if Kane has my information. If he'd like to, I'm not afraid. King Dom, just so you know, Cinnamon Girl's looking out, and we could keep the conversation between us. Thank you, Sin. But set up. Everybody's saying set up. All right. Well, I have no issue, but tonight won't be a good night. But I gave Kane Shades a nice compliment. Well, whatever. It doesn't matter. I said something. I know Tommy Reedale has reached out, and I don't know what, if there's something you'd like to speak about, maybe you want to talk about it now. We can do it right now. You know what I mean? If there's something you want to discuss, we can discuss it right now. Yeah, well, if you're not about bullshit, neither am I. I know, no, that's what I mean, and I appreciate that, brother. If tell Kane Shades or Joey Bay 8th, who I don't know, and I really don't know Kane Shades either. I just I did an interview on a show, and out of mutual respect, I reached out and just told them I thought their work was, I appreciated their work. But you know, whatever it is, tell Kane Shades to reach out to me. That's all. But we're all good. We're all good. Thank you for the invitation. And just let Kane Shades know. Just all you gotta do is reach out to me. Tonight would have been a bad night anyway. That's the truth. But reach out to me, and we can do it any other time. But have him reach out to me. Tell him to reach out to me. But thank you, King Dom. I appreciate that. 1,000,000%. 1,000,000%. Thank you. All right, guys. I want everybody to have a great weekend. Agnostic. Tommy will give you that information, bud. You reach out. Hit me up. Jack, I'll talk to you guys. Everybody have an awesome weekend. Be well. Take care of your families. You know the deal. Nikki, I'll talk to you soon. Thank you all for coming in. I hope we had some laughs. A good night. Relaxed. Enjoyed. Absolutely agnostic. Timmy will talk shortly. Dana, be well, my friend. OG Ruby, love you, babe. Thank you. Everybody have a great night. William Brooklyn, everybody. Cinnamon Girl, thank you, honey. Cinnamon Girl, our prayers are always with you. You know that. Please keep in touch. I know it's tough. That's fine. I got you, Cinnamon. But that's cool. That's cool. I said what I said. I'm not going to keep rehashing what I said. I said it, and a new day is here, and we're moving on. But I said what I said, and there ain't no change in what I said because I meant it. That being said, that's all I'm going to say. But have a good night. Roy, Timmy, Nick, Duke, Tommy, everybody. Agnostic, Dustin, Cinnamon Girl, Roro G, all our peeps, Jimmy, Francis. We can go on forever here. But I'm Jack, Ripman, Francis. Thank you, dear. Nikki, I'll talk to you soon. Matty Boy, Benny, Sal, everybody. Dookie again. Have a good week. William Brooklyn, Mikey Momo, what's happening, my man? Momelli, what's happening, Bo? You guys be good, be safe, and we will be back in business on Monday. That being said, let's walk out of this